E-trash. I really love my e-trash. I can't go anywhere without it. I know mostly everyone watching loves their e-trash. I mean, who wouldn't? All the information you can ask for at your fingertips. Being able to contact anyone with just 9 numbers. And Snapchat, I heard, is a fantastic app. Okay, here. Let me fill you in just in case you didn't know. By e-trash or e-waste, I mean your handy-dandy electronics. From smartphones, televisions, computers, and things of that nature. E-trash is what electronics are when they get thrown out. And with newer electronics coming out almost every month, I must ask you, what do you do with your older electronics? E-trash is becoming the new plastic in terms of destruction of our environment, with the US creating 11.7 million tons of e-waste worldwide. But just like plastic, we can come to learn ways to create more eco-friendly electronics. But how hard is it to recycle electronics compared to plastic? First of all, you can't just throw away your electronics in your green recycling bins. Different companies take different devices. You must find a certified company that will take your device. Some companies will ask you to pay for them to recycle it. Why? Because electronics aren't made for recycling, and sometimes it takes more money to recycle them than they're worth. But what is the process for recycling electronics? In the Wichita area, the processes are: electronics and the computer equipment is received and marked for inventory. It is tested and evaluated to see if it can be used for its original purpose. If so, it is cleaned and refurbished, and hard drives are erased by DoD standards. Equipment is then resold to consumers and or companies or donated for reuse. Finally, all other unrecyclable equipment is reduced or broken down into its core parts and base materials. All tags and stickers are removed, and it is separated before sold to reprocessors or other screened buyers who will salvage certain materials or commodities of their intrinsic value or hazardous nature. But why is e-trash becoming such a problem? Well, since the world has accepted technology as the new norm, companies, hoping for more money in sales, have been selling electronics, trying to make them more like a planned obsolescence or made for the trash. E-waste is on the rise when it comes to destroying the environment and the people in it. Because when you leave electronics in landfill, over time they start to leak out the deadly chemicals that they were created with. These chemicals in our electronics go from selenium to lead, chromium to arsenic, and cobalt to mercury. Not to mention the fact that they have the same flame retardant chemicals like the ones in pillows that help with our neurological problems. Even though Kansas doesn't have any mandatory recycling laws, the problem doesn't come from there. Not many people know that you can recycle their electronics, not to mention where or who to give it to. Luckily for you guys, you're watching this video and I can tell you where and how to get rid of your unwanted electronics. For television, there are all the Best Buys in Wichita, but they do make you pay. American E-Waste Recyclers and West Connections Transfer Station, but they will also charge. For cellular phones, there's Pro KS Miller Recycling Center, Sedgwick County Department on Aging RSVP program, Waste Connections Transfer Station, Wichita Iron Metals, Wichita Material Recovery, and the YMCA. For computers, ABC Recycling, LLC, American E-Waste Recyclers, and Best Buy, but you will still need to pay there too. Electronics recyclers, Goodwill stores, Heartland Recycling Services, and Office Depot, but you pay for the boxes that you put your stuff in. IT Resources, or IT Sources, Ribbit Computers, they also ask you to pay for them. Sturkey Inc., Waste Connections Transfer Station, Wichita Iron Metals, but they also charge for the tubing monitors, and Wichita Material Recovery. If you don't find any of these places successful or you don't want to pay, you can just upcycle your electronics. There is an infinite amount of DIY options for you to choose from. Links are down below. Okay, now back to the nit and grit. There are many pros and cons when it comes to recycling e-waste. There are a lot of pros, most of which are the basic ideas when it comes to recycling. Recycling e-waste helps avoid health issues from the chemicals in e-waste, helps create jobs for recycling e-waste, and economically it would benefit everyone from the consumers to the big companies, since it minimizes raw materials that is needed in manufacturing electronics. But the cons are there is no safety laws for e-waste. As I have already mentioned, many different health issues come with the chemicals that are put together to create these devices. So not having safety nets for the workers that are taking apart the recycled electronics is something that should be taken more seriously. So even though recycling will never be the perfect solution, there are some good reasons why you should recycle these electronics that we love in this day and age. Reason 1 is the toxicity of electronics when not handled correctly is deadly. Reason 2, it helps create more jobs. And reason 3, it conserves the limited natural resources. I know all of you have many reasons why you do what you do with the electronics that you have, but I hope this helps you consider the bigger picture.